Hello, everyone out in Facebook land and YouTube land. How you doing tonight? It's a Friday night, and I'm glad to come on and talk about this week's events because so much been going on in politics, in rap world. Are you gonna look at the verses this week? I think we got Too Short and E40. I'm definitely gonna be there. Back in the day, Too Short was my guy. In fact, well, I say was. I still love Too Short. E40, but I love me some Too Short. In fact, he lives here in Atlanta. In fact, he lives in the same neighborhood that my friend lives in. So anyway, I'm looking forward to that. It's a versus battle. But you know what? To start off with, let's talk about this versus battle. Some people probably don't know, but the rapper Cupcakke made this song, and it's a really good diss song. And a lot of the female rappers has got mad about it because it's talking about Megan Thee Stallion, Suki Hana, really got on Suki Hana, Cardi B, a lot of the women rappers. And you know, it's been certain things said about it. Certain people are saying, well, why is she not uplifting female rappers? That's one thing Suki Hana pointed out. You know, it's about women empowerment and all this stuff. But you know, I heard the song and I like it. I really do like it. And she even says at the beginning, you know, don't take offense to what I'm gonna say in this song. She says that as a disclaimer before she ever started talking. And she just goes all in. She just goes on in. It's really kind of funny to me in a way, but I mean, some of the stuff she really telling the truth on, but it's really funny. But it's a good song, you know. Some of these diss songs is coming out really nice. And one thing it does is it challenges some of the female rappers out here. You know, so many coming out. Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, all they, you know, Suki Hana. The main songs. This is what's wrong with music now, especially rap in the female world. Now, in the guys, you know, they talk about guns, killing, shooting. I mean, some of them, but you know, you hear a lot of that, but you hear a lot of other things too. Most of the women rappers, I take offense to it too. I mean, it's all about twerking songs, you know, about sucking the D, you know, twitching your ass, how much money you gonna get from a man, you know, charging tax just to spend time with you, just all this kind of crazy, unrealistic stuff, you know, like, man, it's no relationships now. It's just sugar daddies and you know, what you gonna give me, what, you know, what tax I'm gonna charge on it just to let you lick some or whatever, you know, the same old stuff. You know, it's nothing into the songs, just the same old stuff. So what Cupcakke does is she's challenging them, you know. She wrote hers. I mean, she used 50 Cent's old song, but she wrote hers and she came up with some lyrics. Okay, well, let's see, you know, Cardi B, you know, I heard she had a ghostwriter. I don't know, but I don't know what she wrote either. So, you know, do they have talent? Can they write their own songs? if you could step up to the plate. A long time ago, rappers used to do diss songs and rap battles, and it showed talent. It really brought out talent. So what is it now? Suki responded back to Cupcakke within about a day or so, and really, she did a good song too. I mean, she showed. I mean, Suki I have heard her before with Young Chop, and she could dog you out. I mean, she could go back and forth with you. So she did her stuff, which okay, that's what it's for. I mean, she did a good job. So let's see what Megan Thee Stallion, all them, so-called that want to get up there and just twerk and show their body. Let's see what else they got. It has to be something else in the universe without just how much you're gonna get, for some ass. Okay. But so much of that. Let's talk about, and you know what? If you want to come on, I don't have nobody to chat with today, so I'm just chatting with you out there. If you want to come on and chat with CC, just put it in the comments and I'll bring you on. How about that? But anyway, The Real Housewife of Potomac. I don't know if you watch it. I had said I was going to stop watching these reality shows, especially Real Housewives of Atlanta. That just really got played out, and it's just a whole bunch of stupidness, and it's just whatever. It just wasn't doing it. Just a whole bunch of buffoonery. But I did get hooked on Real Housewives of Potomac, and it has a different kind of flavor in it because it's more mature women. Well, of course, they do have some younger ones. Candace and Monique is some of the younger ones, and Ashley. But it's more. I like it because the Real House of Atlanta is so superficial, and most of it's fake. When they came on, they didn't have really nothing to their name, and it just was a whole bunch of put on, and then they fighting and bitch, and I'm glad they got Nene off. I mean, the whole show really needs to be off the TV. But Potomac, it just has a little bit more substance to it. These women really do have a background, and they're not showing like everybody's rich or everybody got it like that. But this particular what we're going to talk about tonight is between Jamal Bryant, Giselle, and Monique. Now, really, Monique Samuels, this was the reunion show, and I guess if you've seen it, I would love, like I say, somebody come on and chat with me about it. But Giselle is one of those. She used to be a wife of Jamal Bryant. He's the pastor over there in New Birth, and that was about 10 or 12 years ago. Now, from what they say in the streets, when she got with Jamal Bryant, that he was going with someone else. Now, I don't know if he's married to the lady or what, but she was the side chick that took him away from somebody else, and she became the first lady. And that didn't last long because from what I hear, he got community ping. And I don't know. I kind of believe, when you hear a lot of rumors, that's one thing I always heard. When there is rumors, 99% of it is true. So, the rumor goes around that, he slings his pee all around town, and he has like 6 or 7 babies. He got 3 from Giselle, but he had one before her that he had with the lady that she took him from, and then he had a set of twins while he was with Giselle that really kind of broke her heart, and that's why they got divorced. And I hear it's another baby. I don't know. Her father said it was another baby, or I hinted to it was another baby. I don't know, but okay, if he do have a past, so you couldn't have all these kids if you didn't have a past. So, I don't know if he's slinging community ping or not, but he definitely have slung it in the past. And really, I don't even know why. I mean, when they say he's a good talker, and being a pastor, most of the time, that's how pastors get their organization by being a good talker, very articulate, charismatic or whatever. Because that's when you go to church, that's pretty much how they get you. It's how they present themselves, to bring you in and everything. So anyway, but this is a less of a new birth, because you would think that with the Eddie Long scandal, why would they even have hired him to come? I mean, because he had a reputation before he came. So, they say, what Maya Angelou say, when someone show you who they are, believe them. So anyway, getting back to the story. So Giselle is real kind of messy. She's, but they do the adult messy. They don't be doing all that fighting and all that stuff and bitch this, bitch that. But Giselle is kind of messy. They have Karen on the show, all while Karen was going through her problems with her husband, and different people. Ashley was going through problems with her husband and everything. Giselle always been single. She have different boyfriends come in, but basically she always been single. Always been real messy in each other's business. When Karen was going through her tax thing and trouble with her marriage, Giselle was the first one to bring it up and let's address this and what about him taking all your money and all this, la. The first one who will call somebody at the table about their relationships and everything. So this season, for some reason, Giselle is a nice looking woman, very nice looking woman, but for some reason, she can't keep a man. I don't know why. I think from looking at this Jamal Bryant thing, for one thing, I think she got poor self-esteem, because she definitely could get her another man. And looking at Jamal Bryant, I guess maybe he just ain't my type, but I just don't see it. But they say he's a good talker and he could talk women out their panties. So, hey. Okay, so anyway, Giselle is real messy all through the season. So this season she comes on with her and Jamal is back together, which I guess she needed that. Well, the rumor says that she needed that because, she was getting kind of boring for the show. Everybody else married, got a man and going through stuff, but, got businesses. She had a business called Hugh that tinkered out. She's building a house that have stopped. She really ain't got nothing going for her. So supposed to be, she made a pact with Jamal Bryant to say that they are back in a relationship. So that would be a storyline. Now this is what Karen Huger is alleging. That's the co-star. Okay. So whether it's true, I don't know, but it is true. You don't see Jamal Bryant come on the show but one time. That's kind of fishy. Just one time. And then, of course, these shows are edited. So, that comes on the show and she talk about, am I the only one in this right here? Am I? I mean, she never did say what she's in, but he says, well, you the one who said that you wanted space. And what they talking about, I guess they lead that you believe that they talking about their relationship, but it's really not a lot of talk that goes in that segment, but that's the only time you see him. So Karen calls Giselle out. Well, where is he? Why he don't ever show up? He's just in your phone, which makes sense because he would be in her phone because he is the father of her children. So she makes excuses for him here and there. Now, what made me believe that, okay, something, and maybe some truth to this story about they're not in a real relationship, is because the other green-eyed bandit, her best friend, Robin, at one dinner table, even Robin says, well, Giselle, and Robin always have her back. She says, well, Giselle, it's true that, we all disclose stuff about our man and, we don't never hear about Jamal, or we don't never see him. So you could tell Giselle was very taken back about Robin said something. So when she got her in private, she was like, well, you're supposed to have my back. You said, but it's true. It's true. So anyway, they let that go. But okay, this reunion, Giselle really got it. I mean, if you could go back and watch that reunion, it's got 3 episodes, and I heard it get better, better, better. The first episode, that was a reunion. I mean, I was so out of all the housewives, but Potomac got it going on with this reunion because Monique Samuels, the rumor was that her baby is by a trainer, uh, uh, Sharice, whatever her name. She was the old cast member on the show that's trying to get back in. She put that out. I don't know who her baby by, but to me, if Monique's husband is satisfied with the baby and she's satisfied with the baby, it's nobody else's business. But anyway, that's what the rumor was. So, Giselle didn't really put that out, but she was talking about it. But, she lit fire because, like I say, Giselle was a shit starter, in other words. So anyway, Monique was ready for her. Monique was carrying around this book. And one time she was on Watch What Happens Live with Andy, and she had that same book, but I guess she didn't get a chance to bring out all her receipts. Okay, well, this time she brought out her receipts, and I mean, she mocked Giselle. I felt so sorry for her because it was nothing. Giselle tried to play it off with. After a while, she was just like, she just couldn't say nothing. I mean, nobody could, for a minute, Robin and I get the girls mixed up. Robin and the little girl that got in a fight with Monique. Damn, seemed like my mind just go everywhere. But anyway, they tried to cover for us saying, well, what that bulletproof? Why are you bringing up? I was thinking, shut the hell up and let Monique talk. But Monique didn't let that faze her. I mean, she went on in. I mean, giving Jamal's phone number, the text messages he had between him and this other lady that he was going with for the last 3 or 4 years. And Giselle couldn't say nothing. I mean, she was cold busted. Like I say, you have to see it. I can't even just tell you all about it. You have to see it. So meanwhile, it was a big thing. So Jamal Bryant gets on YouTube, and he took it down now because maybe the church got after his ass. So anyway, because it wasn't a good look. I mean, I was surprised that he even became involved with this show since, he kind of shady past himself. So anyway, he gets on this YouTube. And what surprised me, okay, first of all, he, says about reason, because this is another thing that lets you know it's kind of a fake relationship, because she has 3 girls. You could tell the girls don't even like him. This is their real father. Now, if you was involved with your girl's life, I mean, children has been abused and they still have love for their parents. The girls, they just look at him and they just over, and they don't even know why their mother is over them. And I don't even know why she pushing them into this atmosphere. I mean, really, as parents, they should be ashamed of themselves that, the girls should be embarrassed too, because they got their parents over here. The mom looked like a fool. Their own father made their mom look like a fool. It's just a whole bunch of, crazy stuff. Why would you, as grown people, put your children through that? I don't know. But anyway, Jamal Bryant gets on here, and one thing, he never says that anything Monique said was a lie. Now that's number one. And he never said that he really had a relationship with Giselle. To me, he refers to her as his ex-wife. To me, if they were seeing each other, when you say the woman I'm finna marry, my woman, or something, he refers to her as his ex-wife, and he refers to himself as being single. So that says something right there. And now, one thing he does on the slide, they say he's a good talker. He tells Monique, you got my phone number, but I have your address. Now, I don't know about the church world, but if you from the streets and I mean, everybody got background, and everybody who been in the streets that have a background know street talk. Okay, he says, he said, you got the phone number, but I got your address. Now, what that mean? You got the address. Then he says, at the end, he says, I like the way he put this. He says, I live in Atlanta, but I'm from Baltimore. You know, that like, I'm from New York, you know, all that kind of, I'm from this place, you know, like who? I you know, I don't want to curse, but you know, who gives a flying flip where you from? I mean, but anyway, so you know, he puts that in there, and he says something, and then he started accusing Monique's husband Chris as having CTE, which is, you know, when you get hit in the head a lot from being an athlete, you be violent and stuff like that. Now I don't know where that came from, you know, because he's not violent on the show. I never seen him violent, you know. Now, like I say, the reunion is supposed to be getting better, so I don't know, but you know, he seemed to be calm in the Monique and Candace fight. He seemed to be calm, so I don't know. But anyway, Jamal Bryant just throwing these sneaky threats and stuff, and he's supposed to be a preacher. Now I don't know what's going on with New Birth, but that's a lot of shade, you know, and there's smoke going on. I mean, the way he came on that video, and he putting it down like subliminal threats. That's crazy. But you know, if he about that life, he about that life. I don't know. You know, there's a lot of undercovers. You know, he may be a preacher daytime, but you never know at night what he's about. But anyway, that's a mess. So I just want to say that. And we're gonna leave that right there where it is, and we're gonna talk about some other stuff. Let's talk about Kobe Bryant's wife, Vanessa. Now, you know, it's a shame. And going back to the Real House of Atlanta, Real Housewives of Atlanta, you know, Candy has a mother that I think feels entitled, Mama Joyce. I don't particularly like her personality. To me, with my kids, I feel like I know they didn't ask to be here. I raised them, and I'm not saying that they entitled either, but I just want to see them happy and standing on their own 2 feet. They don't owe me nothing. I mean, if they choose to do stuff for me because I'm their mother, I think that's good, because I think you should take care of your parents. They done took care of you. It's a circle of life. But to feel entitled, that's the problem. Entitlement, you know. Like, I mean, Vanessa Bryant's mother, her name is Sophia something. Sophia, I can't produce her name. Her last name is Lane or something. Sophia Lane. Anyway, she's suing her daughter because she says that Kobe and Vanessa had promised to take care of her all her life. Now, I don't know why. I know Kobe and his parents was estranged because they always thought Vanessa and her parents was leeches and came from nothing. Now, they probably did, but regardless, he loved her and she proved to be a good wife to him or whatever. He didn't leave her before he died. They had kids, and you know, it is what it is. You know, sometimes parents don't like who you choose, but and she was like 18 working at McDonald's or something. But anyway, they made a life together. Now, Kobe did do a lot for her mother. You know, I heard he paid off their house or whatever. And why he did it, I don't know. Maybe he felt like, I got all this money. That's your mom. Let me do it. Okay, but whatever. He did it. Who's to say that they owe you something forever? Now, she's grieving over her husband and her child. I don't know how long that grief will last. It probably will never last. I mean, probably never go away. But I know in the time that it happened, she definitely still in, you know, full grieving mode. And her mother is taking her to court trying to get money from her. She saying that, all the times that she took care of her grandkids, that she should have been paid. Well, she says she was paid. And that was her, the way they supported her, by giving her, all this money, and that, they promised to take care of her. Plus, I think she was charging them like a salary of, I don't know, maybe a salary of like so many thousands, that she was supposed to be taking care of the kids for the next 18 years or something. Something crazy. But and that she's supposed to live in the house free of charge, and that they just owe her everything. And I guess Vanessa's not hearing it. Vanessa got her own kids to raise. I'm quite sure she's well taken care of, but still at the same time she got college educations. She has a lot. When you're rich, you may have a lot of money, but you got a lot of bills too. So in other words, I don't know, but for Vanessa to turn on her mother and say that, the gravy train has stopped, I believe Vanessa is, this lady may be just greedy, and she just want money. That's about the size of it. But anyway, it's a real shame how money could change people and break up families like that. And, it is what it is. What could you say? I was scrolling through YouTube, and I ran across this lady that she's a Black lady from England. She's a doctor. Let's see what her name is. She's African, ADEDEJI. I'm just gonna ADEDEJI. I'm gonna try it. But anyway, look her up. She's good on women's health, talk about vaginal health. She talks about everything. She's a doctor on skincare, but she talks about everything that deals with women. She even talk about how to explain COVID to your kids. She does a lot. If you ever, maybe I'll look up her page and just show it to you, because let's see. She's real good, very informative, and she talk about stuff straight up. She give it to you. Okay, here she goes. Play some of hers.
But it's more common after puberty, and it will vary in amount, consistency, color, smell, depending on whereabouts you are in your menstrual cycle, and also depending on whether you are pregnant, ovulating. I've already done a video where I talk about the different types of smells that can be associated with vaginal discharge, and you can watch that video here. This video, though, the main focus is about the color of the vaginal discharge. So the first color that I want to focus on is yellow, green. Okay,
So I'm gonna turn that off, because that's going into a lot of stuff. But as you can see, she talk about vaginal health, and she talk about women issues, period. Your face, and she's Black, so women, African American women and people of shaded color. She talks about how to keep your skin looking real nice. She talks about a lot of stuff, but she's a doctor, very informative. She's on Facebook, Instagram, and of course YouTube. Look her up. She has a lot of good articles. Okay, so we still wondering, is Trump leaving the White House? Time is ticking. He's still saying he's not going. Waiting to see what's gonna happen. I mean, it's January 20th, or they're gonna drag him out of that bad boy. Now, I know he's doing a lot of things that, and by the way, it's time to vote here in Georgia. If you haven't voted, please get out, because this election is very important, just as important as the presidential election. Because even though if you a Biden, Kamala person, you could be a Trump person, but if you're on the Democrat side and you want to see some of the clean air energy and initiatives and things like that get pushed through, well, you need to go vote, because if you have a Republican, Congress and a Democratic president, is not much going to be done. You're not going to see any change. I mean, the man just can't work miracles, So if you want to see change, you got to get out there, vote. Okay, so with that said, let's talk about your president now and what's been happening. He sold some guns and stuff to over there overseas. To me, that's very careless and putting troops and stuff in danger. Also announced that he bringing some troops home and leaving some over there. And he was the same one who said that Obama shouldn't be telling everything that we do. And he seems to be telling everything we do. The vaccine is out, which is good. Now, they got this vaccine in less than a year. Moderna's coming out with theirs next week. Now, there's been some good, bad, and ugly about it. We haven't seen the good, let's face it. I mean, people been happy, and I've been noticing they've been making sure they show Black people taking this vaccine, which sometimes is an insult to me, because as being a Black person, I really could give a damn if I see 100 Black people. I mean, we don't do things. We have a brain and we know how to think. We don't do things just because we see another Black person do it. That by them shooting another Black person is not going to make me run up and get a vaccine if I don't want to get a vaccine. But anyway, all these states have been showing, make sure you see Black people, chocolate Black people, dark-skinned Black people. They haven't even been getting light-skinned Black people to show that they're getting the vaccine. Okay. So they had this film that came around that the news haven't been showing, that one lady got the vaccine and she was going to get up and go to the loudspeaker, talk about how happy she is, and she wound up fainting for whatever reason. There's been 2 people in Alaska that have that got allergic reactions. One person don't have problems with allergies, and they had a reaction. It's like we discovering this stuff through real time. I'm not saying take the vaccine or don't take the vaccine. I don't care what you do. I mean, all I know is what's going to happen here. I'm not telling people not to take it, but in reality, we are really seeing what's happening in real time, because they haven't had enough time to test this. So what they see is going to be what they're discovering for the first time too. We're all looking at this to see what's going to happen. So, the first responders and the elderly is supposed to go first. And next is supposed to be other people's term. And sometimes I hear people on the news talking about some people want to skip the line and whatever. Be my guest, skip the line. I do not care. If you get the vaccine and hopefully if it works, then by April or May, we could start back traveling again. We can go back to our lifestyle and do what we want to do. That's all gravy. But all we can do is hope. I mean, no good and bad. But anyway, your President Trump, he promised the states all these vaccines, and then come to find out the states is not getting as many vaccines as they thought they was. And because the administration is not refusing to pay for the amount of vaccines that they promised. Now, Pfizer said the vaccines are in a warehouse waiting to be shipped, but they want their money. And the Trump administration is acting like they don't know what's happening, or they want to put out a little bit at a time, to see how it's going to work. I don't know, but anyway, they could expect this administration to cause some ruckus. He's still mad about the election, and he's really bullying the Republican Party like mad. I mean, our governor and everybody else getting death threats. I mean, why would you want to? We talk about conservatism and people that are supposed to believe in God, and these people getting death threats. To show you how unfair the system is. Last weekend there was a big rally in Washington, mostly white people. I guess some people fighting about the election, was the election stolen, and some people, just want his butt out. So anyway, they up there fighting. The police handled them totally different. The news didn't get up there and say anybody was stealing, anybody was breaking out stuff. I mean, people, the media is just it's just racism all along. When it's people of color involved with it, it's always just they rioting and stealing, they thugs and all that stuff. When white people be fighting and burning flags and all that stuff, they was burning Black Lives Matter flags and stuff, then you don't hear nothing about it. I mean, it's just disgruntled people that's using their civil rights, I don't know. It's just really, you don't know what to say. It's just so full of bull, But on another subject, remember George Floyd, the one that the cop killed, murdered, in other words. Well, anyway, his daughter Gianna, she had a birthday. And I was so glad to hear this because, many times we go out here and talk about, like Breonna Taylor, we fight for him, and George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery. And then sooner or later, when the things die down, it's like you don't hear from it. You don't hear nothing. Well, people had said that they was going to take care of his family, especially his daughter Giovanna. Well, anyway, she's 7 years old. She just had a party and little baby, and it was a couple of celebrities there. Shaq, a couple of celebrities got together. Little baby the one sponsored it, but they showed up to the party, and I'm quite sure they gave some stuff too. But anyway, they got there and they decorated this whole house. It was really nice, and made her feel like a little princess, and had different kids. I don't know where these kids, if they was her friends, her relatives, or whatever, but they gave her the best party she probably ever had in her life. And they told her that they're gonna be with her and take care of her, for all the stuff she went through, and that it was just a shame to see her father on the ground like that. So she deserved every bit of it. And, even people like, I think it was Barbara Streisand that gave her stock in Disney. People have just been stepping up to the plate to do a lot. And, they should be commended for it. So that was good. I like to see us, especially taking care of, taking care of our own. So that was a nice thing to do. Okay, another thing that happened, Wendy Williams got on her show. And I don't know if you watch Wendy Williams, but some people have been saying that Wendy been acting kind of strange. Sometimes she do act strange. I mean, and she already admits she have a drug problem. Now she's not saying she use it now, but I'm quite sure she dip and dab sometimes, especially she had a hard year. So, apparently her mother, I don't know if it was COVID or, what her mother passed from, but her mother passed. And she actually passed on November 29th. Well, Wendy got on her show and she said, my mother died many weeks ago. I don't know why she put it like that. And when she said it, it was strange. And she talked about her mother. You could tell she was grieving. I mean, some people, I read some of the blogs, and some people saying, well, I don't think she shed a tear. And that kind of crazy stuff. You can't tell people how to grieve and how they feel. And, if she didn't want to share her personal feelings in front of everybody, that's her business. Her relationship with her mother was her relationship with her mother. And everybody got their own relationship, and how they grieve is how they grieve. But we all knew, though, her mother didn't die many weeks ago. So why she put that out, I don't know. Maybe she, it could have been one or two things. she could have put it out because she didn't want people dipping and dabbing all in her face, talking about when the funeral, because we want to come bust into the funeral or whatever. That could have been a reason to throw people off about her mother died a long time ago. And it could have been that I don't know what kind of condition her mother was in. My mother passed, and she didn't last too long after she really went down in health, but she wasn't the same person that I was used to seeing. You know, I was used to seeing an independent woman that's vibrant, that full of life and stuff. And when her health started deteriorating, she became somebody I didn't recognize. So maybe Wendy was saying that, her mother really left weeks ago, because maybe the body that was still alive, but really that wasn't her mother. I mean, I don't know. But people was on the blogs talking about she lied. She didn't lie. She just told you what she wanted to tell you. I mean, it's really none of your business when she died. But anyway, she did die November 29th, and I heard her ex-husband Kevin came to the funeral, which was nice. I mean, he should have, because they were married a long time. And I imagine they had a relationship, so he should have came. I guess I didn't hear no big hoopla, so I guess he came by himself and showed his respects, and everybody, act like they had sense. So that was a good thing. So anyway, prayers going out to Wendy Williams, and her show is on hiatus. Her brother have a podcast that he was saying that she needs some time off, and I'm sure she do. So we'll leave that where it is. So anyway, I'm going to talk about to tell you about the versus battle between Too Short. I'm really excited to hear that. I think I mentioned it before, but I'm really excited to hear that. But let's talk about Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry been working out. Let me see if I could pull up his picture. He's been working out and looking all good. Let's see. There you go. And that don't hardly look like Medea. And he says that he's single now. So the girl that he had the baby by, or the lady he had the baby by, I don't know what happened to her. But apparently, he's single. So, I mean, he's back on the market. I don't know about Tyler Perry. There's a lot of rumors about him, but I give people the benefit of doubt, whether he is or whether he's not. That's not my business. But really, what else you got to say? Whatever he do is what he do, whichever way the pendulum flows. I don't know. I don't have no proof, and until I see something, I can't speak on something. So that's just about it. But anyway, he's looking good these days. If you watch his pictures that he have on Sisters, that was kind of aggravating this week. Sisters, the characters, and I don't know. It's just too much going on to that show, and I don't know. We may talk about that later. Don't feel like going all into that now. Getting to our money, what about the stocks? Well, people are waiting for that stimulus bill, hopefully this weekend, because if Congress don't get together this weekend, the government is going to be shut down. I don't know if you all knew that. Everybody's talking about the vaccine, but I mean, our government services, a lot of them are still working from home anyway. But they won't be working, period, if Congress don't do something. And we need Congress to do something. We got people out here in bad shape, so they need to do something. And I really feel bad for these small businesses out here. But, let's just hope they pass something. That's all I can say. Let's hope they pass something. We need some money. We need some stimulus. We need something. some kind of help. 2021 coming in, so hopefully it's good. But as for the stock market, stocks been okay. Today they was up because of the rumors of the stimulus bill. Now I don't know. If we don't get nothing past this weekend, of course Monday I could see it's gonna be a good time to buy because things gonna be dropped if you got money to buy. So we'll see how that go. But in the meanwhile, I'll talk about more about stocks on Sunday because we got some good picks out there that's rising up, including Tesla. Tesla is going on the NASDAQ that market on December 21st. So if you got to be part of that split, I must admit I sold mine, but I'm buying it back. You better buy it back quick too, because it's rising. It rose a lot today, and so if you could catch it, catch it. That's a big one, but it's gonna be worth it at the end. But anyway, we'll talk about more about that Sunday. If you like what I'm saying, or want to come on with Cece, I always invite you to come on. You can put it in the comments, and I'll bring you on screen. Or just write your comments if you don't want to go on screen. Either way, just come and chat with CC. We're talking about all kind of topics. Nothing is off limits. And Sunday, we're going to talk about some more. Anyway, good night and enjoy your Friday and watch that versus battle so we could talk about that. Good night.